Hey guys, today I wanted to talk to you about the Chronoboon Displacer. This is an item that was added in Phase 6 of World of Warcraft Classic, and it is used to store your world buffs so that you can actually play your character, instead of putting your main characters in buff jail. So as a raider, there's a big emphasis on getting world buffs, and there's a lot of them that you can travel all around the world to get that greatly enhance the power of your character. This makes your raids move faster. It makes it a lot harder for you to die. It makes your class more powerful in general. So after about a year and a half of getting these world buffs on your main character and then logging out to save them, i.e. putting them in a buff jail, as some people like to call it, Blizzard has finally added an item into the game that allows us to freeze these buffs and allows us to play our character outside of raid time. So the Chronoboon Displacer, it alters the fabric of time, suspending beneficial world effects from Dragon Slayer, from Dragon Slaying, Dire Maul, Solgarub, and Felwood. This item also will suspend your Warchief Blessing buff, and it will also suspend the Dark Moon Fair buffs that you get from the Fortune Teller. The Chronoboon Displacer can be purchased from Chromie for 10 gold. You are required to do 2 pre-quests to open up Chromie as a vendor, and those 2 quests are A Matter of Time, which is a quest to use a temporal displacer near one of Anderhal's silos that are glowing, and you slay 15 temporal parasites. The follow-up quest to that is the Counting Out Time, and that's where you will go through the burned out wreckage of Anderhal and pick up Anderhal watches from the little locked boxes that are all over the buildings of the town. Once you finish these 2 quests, you are able to purchase the Chronoboon Displacer for 10 gold from Chromie. They stack up to 5 and can be traded between characters and sold on the auction house. The way this item works is when you have a world buff that you want to store, you would right-click on the item to supercharge it. This will consume the item and give you a buff, and you will get a unique replacement item called the Supercharged Chronoboon Displacer. When you store a buff, this puts the Chronoboon Displacer on cooldown for 1 hour. The 1 hour will tick down while you're in-game, and also while you are logged out. To reapply your world buffs, you would right-click on the Supercharged Chronoboon Displacer, and this does not trigger a cooldown when you reapply your stored buffs. So how does this change gathering world buffs? For the most part, you can still gather all of your world buffs in the same fashion that you have been, and that is going and getting the ones that you need, logging out between the cooldowns, logging in right before the buff drops or right before a Songflower is up, and then logging back out. Alternatively, once you have a buff that you want to suspend, you can use a Chronoboon Displacer. Keep in mind that each time you use one, it's 10 gold that you're paying to store your buffs. You are able to gather buffs one by one and suspend them, and then use the Supercharged Chronoboon Displacer to reapply your buffs, and then store them again to capture any new buffs that you got. Once you have a buff that is stored, you are not able to get that buff again. So this eliminates us from double dipping into world buffs. So what I'm trying to say for this is you can't get a full set of world buffs, store them, and then go get a second full set of world buffs, essentially doubling the amount of world buffs that you get. It doesn't work like that. You can only have the one set. The Chronoboon Displacers are not able to be used in combat. In earlier versions of the test server, you were able to click on this item, and as long as your 6-second cast was not interrupted, you were able to store your world buffs again. That has since been changed, and you're not able to use the item at all in combat. Once you have some world buffs stored, you can mouse over the buff that you get from using the Chronoboon Displacer and see which buffs you have and how much time is left on those buffs. The addition of the Chronoboon Displacer is a huge quality of life improvement to the world buff meta. I'm very excited to be using this item since I have things that I still want to do on characters that I have been rating Naxxramas in. But before, I wasn't able to play my character on raid day because I had to have my world buffs ready to go, since I couldn't reliably count on new buffs being dropped right before my raid time. Well, I think I covered everything on this new item that's in WoW Classic. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I am going to continue to use these, and if there's anything that you can't get an answer for, you need someone to just check in game, I use these all the time and can check for you, so let me know. If you liked my video, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out a lot, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!